Hello friends, and once again welcome to BISPtrainings.com. My name is Amit, and today we are going to discuss another interesting example of Groovy script with Oracle Planning. So let me explain you the problem statement first. So one of my client is using Oracle Planning along with one third-party planning and budgeting solution. They wanted Oracle Planning tool to be used only as a display for the only for the display purpose because they're at the verge of retiring their third party product. So this since it is a complex business and they do not want to move to Oracle Planning immediately, they want to give some room to the business users. Okay. So as during the phase of migration, the one requirement customer requested us since they're using third party tool for budget allocation and budget allocation process is being done over there itself. They wanted Oracle Planning to data form to use this budget number only for view only purpose. Okay. So, I mean, my planner's budget manager would log into my data form and look at the allocated budget. So every quarter in the beginning of the quarter one, the budget administrator, as part of the seeding process, set all budget number 0. For the sake of example, I use quarter one case. For quarter one, the beginning of quarter one, it means the 1st January, okay, or maybe the last day of the business, okay, for the given quarter. We'll set all allocated budget number to 0. When you right click over here, hit this button, the number turn out to be all 0, okay. When I right click, after this, I see the budget number. This is called allocate budget, okay. When I hit this number, there are some numbers are populated at quarter one, and this budget number approved budget quarter one and in turn distribute to different month based upon weight factor. What numbers to be input into quarter one and weight factor, this come from third party application as of now, and subsequently they wanted to use this number to be input through data form or runtime prompt. So as of now they do not want to tamper the existing system. They want to use continue they do not want to tamper existing system. They want to continue with the existing system itself. So what we are trying to do over here, we put number over here and there's a weight factor. I multiply weight factor with the quarter one value and values are to be allocated over here. Okay, let's look at the code. So in order to achieve this, we use data grid builder. And if you look at the code line by line, I read line by line this code for you. Likewise, in previous example of the Groovy cases I taught you for data grid builder, we discussed the fundamental concept of it. Today we see one use case. So let's read line by line. What does this code do? Okay. So I set to 0. When I allocate budget, these numbers source from my third party application. For the sake of learning, I hard coded this number for here now. Okay. So I create a cube1 object reference. Cube object reference to my plan one cube, right? The same thing we discussed a couple of times, operation.application get cube. And in the argument you pass name of the cube or a plan one, right? So we have an object reference. In the second line, I create data grid builder object and optionally you can pass the parameter for the date format. So I use cube as a parent class dot the method data grid builder and the argument over here is a time format of a date and time. Now the point of view data grid builder consists of rows, column and point of view, same as your smart view or data form you see in your screen. Rows, column and point of view. So I add builder.add point of view, same point of view I use over here. Look at this. FI26 entity facility resources scenario approved budget. This is no product, p triple zero is an actually a name and this is an alias, working version and base data. So this is my point of view, correct. In the column I use January, February, March and quarter one. I'm going to put number to quarter one and this intern is going to be allocate to my January, February, March, or other way around. I put some numbers, multiply with the weight factor and value is going to be aggregate to quarter one. Okay. So quarter one value. Now here I put a weight factor. This weight factor number comes from a source application, third party planning application, the one I was talking about, which the customer is going to retire. This is the first phase and next phase, the weight factor and the budget number to be input by the user as part of runtime prompt. Okay, so I have another version of the same code. Probably next video I'll share across the same. It is just replaced with runtime prompt value. So 30, 30, 40%. You see 30, 30, 40%. I create a collection with a name as weight or weight factor with 30, 30, 40%. And my total approved budget for healthcare and benefits, or healthcare and welfare of an employee. Okay, for this employee expense account, the approved budget is 12,000. This also comes from a third party application, isn't it? So 12,000 multiplied by 30%, 30%, 40% respectively, right? So 30%, 30%, 40% respectively. You can see this over here. I can put any value over here. Let me replace 12,000 with 18,000. Probably to save this because I modify the number, I redeploy, and then we test it again. So validation is done. And then we deploy the code. So one collection is weight factor, another variable is total expenses. What I'm going to do, this weight factor to be multiplied with my number. So this number is 18,000 multiplied by weight factor 30, 30, 40%. 30% of 1800, 18,000 is 6,000. So 6,000, 6,000 and 40% of this 2,400, 24,000. This is going to be allocated across my January, February, March. Correct. So I created collection and then multiply this collection value with my weight factor. Total expenses 18,000 multiplied with weight factor. So I use dot collect. It is a global object. We use number of time in the past. Like in Java, we use this. Here we use it multiply by total expense. So it represents over here current object, which is your weight factor 30, 30, 40%, isn't it? And the same value I assign to my rows. What is your row? Row is 6140, which is employee healthcare and welfare expenses. So add row consists of two arguments, name of your dimension member 6140 multiply and the value of it. So value respectively for January, February, March. Correct. And the remaining part remains same as we did in the previous example. I created status object reference builder.status because I like to identify how many cells are modified, deleted, sorry, how many cells are updated, saved. So in order to keep track of the status, I create a status object. And then we use a closable collection and traverse through all cell one by one. So I display a message over here, save and name of the value of the cell or the number of cell, both you can display. So I display over number of cells are modified, isn't it? Cell stated of num accepted cell. Exactly same scenario we use in our previous class. And then you save this grid. So it requires cube object reference, cube dot save grid under you pass a grid object reference, which is over here. Okay. Now let's rerun this. Okay. So I think I deployed. Right click is set to 0. This is what we're going to do in the beginning of the quarter. We set this budget value to 0. Correct. So in the beginning of the quarter one, the value are set to 0. Okay. Then depends upon the value I receive from third party tool, third party application and weight factor. I right click over here and invoke my seeding forecast, allocate budget. So allocate budget would be assigned to January, February, March. This is the code. In this case, it is 18,000, 18,000, right? You see. In next example, I'm using 18,000 hard coded. You can replace with runtime prompt value, or you can read some other data cell value. Okay. So 18,000 and 30%, 30%, and 40% respectively. Okay, so this is the code. One simple example may not be best case, but this is a starting point of your as to how you can use DataGridBuilder to in turn manipulate your numbers. In a subsequent class, I'm going to give you more advanced example of DataGrid. Stay tuned. The same code I'll put in a YouTube and the modified version of it. Replace this hard-coded number with runtime prompts. Should you have any question, please feel free to reach out to us, bisptrainings.com and bispsolution.com. Thank you.